Okay, just a reminder, we're recording this. I'll get this uploaded to YouTube today. So, here is our set. Looks lovely. Okay? We need to start figuring out what our areas are going to look like. Now, areas should generally be somewhere between 8 feet and 12 feet. How do you know what's the right size area for a show? You experiment. Okay? You do them, you go, oh, I don't like them, you try them again. So what I like to do is I like to create a new class. So I double click on my Windows palette's navigation, brings up my navigation pane, my navigation palette, and then I double click on the first box at the top, which is my classes, and I click new, and I'm going to name this class areas. Okay. And areas appears. I'm going to put check mark next to it because it's the area I want to draw on. I named it areas. You can name it whatever you want. That's fine as long as you can remember that. Okay? And then your design layer, you want to make sure lighting is checked because this is part of your lighting design, right? Okay. Next thing is areas are generally circles because our lights are going to produce some sort of roundish beam. Okay, they're probably going to actually be ovals till all said and done, but we're going to draw circles at the beginning. So I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to select diameter mode since my areas are going to be somewhere between 8 and 12 feet in diameter. I am going to just draw this, start drawing a circle, click the tab key. That's going to let me enter the length, and I'm going to do an 8-foot area to start. So 8 apostrophe gives me the 8 foot. And there we go. The next problem we find with this is that I can't see through this. I place this over the set. I can't see what's underneath it. That's a little problematic for me. So what I'm going to do is Windows, Palettes, Attributes. And I get a little palette up here called the Attribute Palette, making sure that I have my area that I just drew selected. It's got the orange band around it. And I'm going to come over to the paint bucket. Looks like this. It's really tiny. Find it? There's not much to it. And I'm going to click next to the paint bucket where it says solid. I'm going to go up to none. And now my circle is see-through. Isn't that cool? If you want your circle to be another color so it's easier for you to see, where it says pen color, click on pen color and you can make it red or whatever if that makes it easier for you to see. I tend to leave mine black, but I'm going to leave it red for today so it's a little easier to see. Drag that circle to whatever you think is the most important acting area on your set. Okay? For some of you, that's probably going to be Argon's desk. For some of you, it might be downstage center. For some of you, it might be upstage center. I don't know what it is for you. You select it. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. I am going to go with downstage center. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm really going to take some time to drag that circle exactly where I want it. I want it to come off the set a little bit because obviously any place I don't have a circle, I'm probably not going to have light. So I'm going to bring things down because I can shutter cut in. Usually you can spill onto the off the stage a little bit as long as you're not spilling into the audience's eyes. And we'll eventually get to how to check that. And I'm going to say, okay, that's my first area. Okay. Do I know that this is right yet? No. No idea. I haven't even planned this out ahead of time for you guys, so I have no idea if this is going to work or if you're going to get me to see what happens when you make a bad choice. Okay. Again, make your own choice. Okay. The next thing is, if I hold down the Option key, I get a little plus sign, and that's going to allow me to duplicate my circle. And I'm just going to drag that across. I'm going to try to get it pretty well lined up. If you are someone, so I had a student last year in this class who was awesome, but got twitchy if everything wasn't perfectly lined up. You can draw guidelines and snaps to get things perfectly lined up, or you can just wing it. Okay, winging it is just fine. Okay, and I'm going to just quickly, using my command and copy command, or my command and drag, I'm going to fill in all the circles I need for this show. All these areas. Remember, anything that doesn't have a circle on it is probably not going to be well lit. Oh, grumble. I can already tell you I don't like this. I don't think this is a good layout. And hold down Option and then click on your area and drag it. If you hold down the Option key, you'll get a plus sign. Okay. And what you can do is you can also select multiple circles and say, okay, I'm going to copy all of these. Same command. Remember, we want things overlapping a bit. I don't like this. I'm telling you already I don't like this. But that's okay. I'm going to go through with this, and I'm going to show you what it is. Okay. And we're going to need that, and that. Oops. To click on multiple things, hold down Shift and then click, and that will do a group select. And then do something like that. And then scoot over a little bit here and copy this one again. Then just draw in a circle. Okay, I look at that. I can quickly count my areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 acting areas for this show. I'm going to give you all a hint. 16's a little excessive for this set. If you get above 12, you're probably a little much, okay? And let's look at some of the reasons I don't like this. Look, this acting area is mostly off the set, right? That to me feels like a waste of a layout. I'm going to be using a lot of lights to light a teeny tiny corner. Okay. What is kind of nice is the desk is within an area, so that's nice. This little couch thing is not. That's not so great. The bench up here is not within an area. You know, does this work? Yeah. But is it fantastic? No. You do want it to overlap. You do want your areas to overlap a bit. Oh, and look, I've got a gap here, so that's not good. I need to fix that. Oh, because there's all these lights that are spilling outside the set. Okay? And I'm doing the area, by the way, I'm also going to have to do a similar thing for my house lights and for set wash lights. So that's one of the reasons you might want to do these in colors so you can see what's what. But ultimately, this doesn't quite work for me. I feel like a lot of wasted areas. Another thing, due to this being on the other side of a wall, this is going to have to be 2 separate areas anyway, because it's hard to shoot lights through a wall. So I'm not digging it. Okay, so there could be a couple of things wrong. It could just be a bad layout. The 8-foot area could be perfect. It's just a bad layout. Or it could be that 8 foot is a bad area size for this show. Okay, for this set. Okay, so there are 2 things you could do. You could go create another layer called Areas 2 and save this in case you think, oh, I might want to come back to that. Or you can do what I'm about to do. I'm going to click Show Snap, or I'm going to Show Snap Others, but not Modify. And now I can only delete things on the class that I'm working on. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to delete all but one of these. Okay, it doesn't matter which one I keep. I'm going to take it and using my Object Info palette, I'm going to say instead of an 8-foot diameter circle, let's try a 9-foot diameter circle. Okay. Generally somewhere between 8 and 12 feet. Okay? And you generally want all your areas to be the same. Now, notice I've said generally every single time here. Okay? I might get through with all this and go, you know what? I'm going to have one area that's a little bit bigger. That's going to make it a little harder to blend with everything else. But maybe it'll be okay. Okay. So, again, and I'm trying 9 feet. You could try 8 foot 1 inch. It doesn't matter, okay? This is called trial and error, and there is not, I don't know a better way to do it other than trial and error. Okay? And I will tell you that this is frequently the longest part of doing a show for me is figuring out my areas. On Boy's Life, I spent probably an hour doing my areas until I was happy with them. Okay. Hopefully you're not going to spend that long on this show. Ooh, that works out well. And we talked that you can do grid method or you can do the slinky method. Think this is a show that is screaming out to me slinky method. Well, okay. With 9-foot areas, this is screaming out to me slinky method. I'm going to take these and copy them up to here. Ooh, I'm liking this. I did. Okay. And darn it, I don't like that. Well, okay. Okay. Let's quickly look at what we've got on the screen. I am personally feeling, if this was me doing this show, I would save this arrangement. This is, to my mind, pretty close to something that works for me. Okay? And let me show you why I think this works pretty well for me. This bench in the center is in its own area. I like that. I get most of this bench in this area. I would probably decide if this was my layout that I would want to add a couple of whatever I call this corner bench specials, because this is kind of split up between two areas, which I'm not fond of, but
why is that a problem?
Because it means if I'm trying to isolate people on this bench, I've got to turn on all of these lights. So that's why I'm saying I look at this and go, well, maybe I'm just going to add a bench special. So that's a solution. Okay? Specials are wonderful. And you're going, but it wasn't in my original plan. Is that okay? Yes. Okay? Lighting design, good lighting design is far more about the revisions than the initial setup. Okay? I can light the staircase without lighting the bench down here. I kind of like that I can, if there's something special happening on the staircase, maybe in the doctor dance thingy at the end. Okay, I kind of dig that. This kind of wonky corner over here that I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of acting in is its own area. That's going to be nice. I can just turn that down if I don't need it. I'm a little kind of shady in the corner over here. I'm not fully covering this corner. But maybe a special or maybe making this area a little bit bigger can work. Or maybe what I do is I scoot this down a little bit and I do something like that. Not bad. Shady here, not part of an area, but that will probably be filled in with some spill light. Because remember, our lights are not going to shutter cut exactly to the areas we draw. This is just for planning. That corner, again, I'm probably going to be okay. If I'm worried, what can I do? Huh? Make a circle or make a special. Okay. This is, while not ideal, this is not bad. Okay. So at this point, I would either save this as another, basically create a new layer called area take 2, and try again. Or I might go, yep, I can live with this. Okay. Again, the things you want to think about with your areas are it's nice if you can get the major acting areas where you think there's going to be a lot of action, which generally happens around furniture and doors. That I can get that kind of isolated, so that may decrease my need of specials, because I probably don't need a bench special for this bench because it's got an area that it's lined up perfectly with. Does that make sense? Okay. I might not need a special for the desk, although the desk is not centered in the area. Maybe I can call that okay. In the real world, I'd want to see rehearsal or chat with the director a little bit. And I can always add specials until I run out of gear. But, at this moment, don't worry about the gear. Okay? And this gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 areas. And then what I would say with this is that I would have a special for back here and probably a special for back here. So those little alcoves would be specials. Now, I have worked out my areas for the acting areas. I still need to work out my areas for the set. Now, of course, the set wash doesn't have to light the actors, so that might be a little different. And I have not worked out areas for the audience or the house lights. Okay. I will tell you with house light areas, you can go a little bit bigger probably. You might be able to go up to a 15-foot area for house lights because they don't need to be as bright as our acting areas. Remember we talked about at the beginning of the semester, the bigger the circle, the dimmer it's going to be. So that's why we don't want to get too big. Again, I might try I'm going to be honest, since I'm saying me. I would probably do this again with a 10-foot and an 11-foot area, although I'm pretty happy with this for me. Okay? Do I think this is the correct layout for everyone in this room? No. I'm not even sure it's the correct layout for me. Okay? I would do a couple more. And since we have 15 minutes left of class, I would like you guys to try a couple more layouts. Okay? And maybe centering on the center bench is not where you want to center yours. Maybe you want to center yours on the desk or on the bench down right. Or maybe the staircases you think is something really important. Okay? Try different layouts. If you can't get a layout that does everything you want, you'll add specials for what doesn't fit. And that's okay. Questions? Great. I'm going to stop the recording.